This is the Heart to Heart with Statton podcast. Welcome back, everybody, to the Heart to Heart with Statton podcast. I'm with my friend, hello, Lil.
Hello.
Wonderful. Anyways,
Awkward.
we had a bit of a setback for a normal podcast day today. Some unplanned things happened, so Lil came up with the idea of why not just do one tonight and just make it about video games and stuff like that. But I'll let her kick it off with the layout. Do it now, Lil. Do it now.
Oh, okay. now. No, I don't know.
Go right ahead, Lil. Go right ahead.
Shut up, Stat.
Go.
Shut up. Okay.
I'm shutting up now. Go on. Go ahead.
We were just chit chatting.
Go ahead.
Dude, Haven't you done yet? No, I'm not. Are you done? If you interrupt me one more time, I'm just gonna leave.
I'm done.
Alright. No, we were just chit chatting, because we were making your character for D&D or whatever, and when we started talking, you started off by saying, how did we start it off? I think we were talking about you wanted to play Fable, and then I was explaining how Fable works, and then I was explaining that you can play with Fable Anniversary on Steam, that you can play with a controller, and you're like, no, I do WA. That was me. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, hence the podcast. I was like, let's just do one. Why not? It was just us talking about shit. So I figured.
No, we're talking about games.
Always fine, games. I guess we could start off with consoles first. I think we should like our opinions about the consoles or explanation of what said consoles are. So I'm gonna go off with the first console I started off with, which was the Sega Saturn. And you said earlier that you don't know what the Sega Saturn is, right?
I'm aware of the different Sega consoles by name. I do not know what's the difference between them. What came first?
It's just mostly age, really. Like I think Sega Saturn was the very first one, if I remember correctly. Hold on. I'm trying to look it up right now while I'm. Why is Sega Saturn so expensive? Because it's old.
And I don't think Sega's even a thing anymore. I mean, yeah.
It was bought out by Nintendo.
Well, that actually explains why Sonic is in Super Smash Brothers then.
Yeah. No, yeah, eventually Nintendo did buy the rights to Sega, and it's like, it's right to games. So that's why you see Sonic and like, the other Sega like games inside Nintendo's features, because they just outright bought them out. And it's not even just a Nintendo, like there's Sega games on PlayStation now too, or have been for a while. They discontinued Sega back in 1998. 2000 in Japan. They started off with Japan, so that makes sense.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of like what would be popular Sega games. Here we go. Sega Saturn games. So like the ones I remember playing way back when. Let's see if they have a list here.
Really quick, Alderon just left a message. Chicken butt here first.
Wait, what? Oh, in the chat.
Yeah, in the live chat.
Of course he did. Hi, Alderon. Okay, images.
That's her seductive tone.
Yeah, it's my woolly mammoth. I feel like Genesis was first. I can't remember if it was Sega. Oh my god, I forgot this game. There's a game called Knights, and I vaguely remember this is Into the Dreams. You were playing like this. She kind of looks like a Joker character, and and you basically went through dreams and stuff like that. It was such a really cool game. But I played Sonic. I played oh gosh, it's been so long. Sonic. There's like a Frogger type game and something called Croc. They have Pincer Dragon. I don't know. There's a lot. I mostly just played Sonic on this system. I didn't really play a lot much else. I think the Genesis version did have a Disney game that I remember very fondly. It was with Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, and Goofy, and you went through like it was kind of like Kingdom Hearts before Kingdom Hearts, but you went through like all the movies and you played like segments of the movies or whatever in different ways. It was really kind of cool. Like I remember specifically going through Alice in Wonderland, and I kept beating up the freaking cards because they were just obnoxious and annoying. But yeah, it was just a pain in the ass though. They were mostly side scrollers more than anything else, except for Sonic. It was more. Well, that was also side scroller. I just remember you going down a tube at one point. So I don't know. Moving on though. Next game would be Nintendo, the very first one. Did you play any of the Nintendo or Super Nintendos?
Yes. I had the Super Mario Brothers 3 was the first, and not the first Mario game I played, but the first Mario game I owned, and
Right.
got a lot of the like I had Tiny Toon
That
Adventures,
that would have been that would have
Battletoads,
been on Super Nintendo. Yeah.
but then the Nintendo broke down. Not too long. Those things do not last. But then the Super Nintendo.
Nintendos. They yeah they were hard. They got the dust really kicked their ass more than anything.
And Alderon said Frogger was one of the best games, but one of the most difficult.
Yeah, it was.
And
Super
oh, sorry, continue.
was a favorite of mine. No, I'm just saying Super Mario 3 was I think the flagship of Super Nintendo. I think that's what really sold the console.
Then, but after the Nintendo broke, the Super Nintendo came out, and that is when Super Mario World and everything happened.
Yeah. Like no.
Yeah.
Wait. I think you're getting confused. Super
Nope.
Mario
I know what I'm
World.
talking about.
You're right. Never mind. You're right. But that was on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You're right.
Because there's
Never mind. Hold on.
there's the Nintendo, then there's the Super Nintendo.
I see you're right. I see your point. I'm looking at it now. It is Super Nintendo. You'd be right. And I like Mario World. That was a good one. Zelda was on Nintendo, then Super Nintendo, I believe.
Yep. It was the very first Legend of Zelda game, just called The Legend of Zelda. Then Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, which was a side scroller.
But Super Nintendo, when it came out with A Link to the Past, which was like one of the best fucking games for Zelda at its time.
Absolutely. It's just too bad
To
I
the point where
wasn't.
they remade it like multiple times.
Just my. If it's a partial regret, and I'll explain why.
Why?
It's a partial regret that I wasn't really introduced to the Zelda series till Ocarina of Time came out, because I knew of the Zelda games, but I had no idea what they were about. Didn't know what
We
the
were
story.
just kids then, though. I mean, you're not that much older than I am, but we were just kids. I mean, really, the adults were playing that game more than we were.
I'm old enough to be
I mean,
your grandpappy.
No, you're not. Don't
I
don't let him fool you. That's
I
just
am.
wrong. No,
I- You're a
no.
youngin.
How old are you?
Me?
Oh, how old are you?
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
say my age here.
Bullshit. He's only like 4 years older than I am. I think.
Yeah,
Sure, Mark.
yeah, old
No,
enough to be your grandpappy. Anyways,
no, whatever.
but
Oh,
and the reason I say it's a partial regret is because if you follow the Zelda pattern in terms of the storyline of the game, and every hero you've played thus far, and because the games are not made in the chronological order, we all know this already. But before Ocarina of Time, every Zelda game referenced a hero that came before the hero you're playing, and Ocarina of Time is supposed to be that hero that they kept referencing. So originally, that was supposed to be the first adventure.
was it? Oh yeah, we talked about this. You're right.
And
One of these days, we'll have to get in a full dive into Zelda. We'll have a podcast just Zelda related lore. I have 3 encyclopedias to go over this. Let's go.
I'm glad I chose wisely because not knowing the order the games went in or anything about Zelda, I had to make a choice. It was either Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask because they were both on the shelf. And luck would have it, I chose correctly, but that was pure luck and not at all based on knowledge.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that at the time. We're like, oh yeah, they're both Zelda games. They didn't really like, oh yeah, they're sequels of each other. That would have been really confusing if you started off with Majora's Mask. That would have been fucking funny. What is happening? This game's too hard.
And so then but we got a little off track here. What was the other consoles you wanted to go over?
Oh, so yeah, that leads into the next console game that I know we both played, the Nintendo 64, and that was like, that's the cream of the crop of our childhood. I feel like, because the Nintendo 64 had so many games that are still floating around to this day. You got freaking just the top tier ones that are up there. You got Ocarina of Time. You got Perfect Dark. You got GoldenEye 007. You got Super Mario 64, which is my most favorite game, not Ocarina of Time, because I didn't really get into Ocarina until like the GameCube, but the Super Mario 64 world or whatever was the best because climbing up those stupid trees and then jumping off of them, or there's like the penguins sequence where you're trying to find all the penguins and you're I don't know, I just loved that one in particular. But let's see what else came out of there. We got Donkey Kong,
Pokemon Stadium.
Yep, Pokemon Stadium. There's Rayman. Let's see, Star Fox. There's F-Zero, Mario Tennis, Mario Golf, Donkey Kong Racing, Mario Kart. They had two 007s. I forgot about that one. Let's see. Gotta go back. Majora's Mask. There's so many freaking N64 games. Like, at one point, I had like 100 N64 games, and then I sold them all. Or my ex-husband did anyway. Yeah, there's a lot of good games. Smash Brothers, I think came out on that one at first too. The very first Smash game.
Yes, and I loved that to know. And I was the way I kept laughing throughout my first playthrough of the game. You would have thought I was high on something because my cousin came over. And I'd never played the game, so we rented it first. And I realized there was I think they toned it down in the Smash Brothers games that came after it, but there was almost like a lack of gravity to the game that made it almost comical when you'd be thrown off the ledge and you could double jump in the air, and it's like, yay, I could fly.
No. So I don't know. I don't think I ever played the Super Smash Bros. But they still have that air of like lack of gravity when you're being like thrown off something. Not only that, if you get KO'd hard enough, you just go flying across the screen. You just go pew. That's what it does.
I know it does that if the health is if your damage meter's high enough. But it seems like in the original Super Smash Brothers game, that was just done by default almost.
Well, I think they liked it so much they just kept it. But yeah, no, the 64 I feel like was pinnacle of our childhood if you really think about it. That along with mine, although weirdly enough, even though it was a pinnacle of most children's childhood, mine wasn't really the 64 at the time. It was actually PlayStation 1. That's where I really started like playing, but we won't get into that one just yet. The next one on the list would technically, at least for most people, I think would be GameCube. Well, PlayStation 8. We in tandem we could say both of them because they kind of came out around the same time. Actually, I can confirm that GameCube release. Hold on. GameCube released what year? 2001. So nope, number 9. I'll take that back. So PlayStation would be next because PlayStation came out way before that. PlayStation 1 release date is 1994. Yep.
Now,
I was right.
now GameCube was the one console that I was both impressed and disappointed with at the same time, but that's largely to do with the fact that around the time that came out, the internet was not as common of a thing as it is today. So when people were anticipating its arrival, all you had to go on were like the rumors that would go around in school and everything. And
Hmm.
the rumors that were going around was it was supposed to be backwards compatible, and they said that's why it's supposed to be shaped like a cube. Like one side you can insert Super Nintendo games, the other side you can insert N64 games, and the
Who
top
said
part is where the
that? Really,
GameCube games.
that was the rumor that was going on.
It was a
That's
if it wasn't a big rumor, it was definitely going around in the very school I went to. And
yeah, because I mean, I can see where that would they can see that, but looking at it, there's no way because that was disc only. Like, I mean,
well, you like I said,
unless
the
there was
internet
somebody making a hybrid.
when you don't have as when the internet's not as common of a thing as it should
Yeah,
be.
going by word of mouth. Yeah, no, I get it. But we'll go over GameCube in just a sec. So PlayStation would be the next one in line, and I think that's where I really got serious with gaming because that's where I think I played the very first PlayStation game I played was Tomb Raider, which scared the holy living fuck out of me because every time, like the bears, they sound like this. "Arr, arr." That's literally what they sound like. It scared the crap out of me as a kid.
Do they
'Cause you're
really
going
sound
to,
that
like,
feminine?
well, no, I don't know. Maybe you try it. Try the sound with your voice.
You want me to do that? Okay, okay.
Yeah, right
Well,
now.
why not?
Yeah, go.
Arr,
Yeah, it sounds like that.
arr,
Exactly.
arr,
Okay, you're getting a little weird right now.
arr.
Okay. Yeah, it sounds like that. But no, there'll be like barely any music, and you hear this every so often.
Well,
I'm
and
gonna
that
have to play the clip for you one of these days because it's fucking funny.
I would like to stop the progression of this conversation just long enough to point out that I think reminiscing about yeah, it is true that for each console that comes after the next one, the graphics do get better, but
Yeah.
I think we should acknowledge that even the old games, though they're not as good graphic wise, man, do they still hold up? They are just great to play. There's
Oh yeah.
the
It's actually because of those games that I even like playing. Um, I'll mention it later, but there's like games like Sequin or Final Fantasy, like the OGs or whatever, not the remakes, because it's because of graphics like Nintendo or Super Nintendo or whatever, like those side scrollers and those pixel bit console games that make it enjoyable.
Yeah, like they not that long ago remade Super Mario RPG, and the thing is
Oh
that
yeah, I heard about that.
that's actually t- I don't know how many people know this or how many people think about it because Super Mario 64 is considered the first open world three-dimensional Mario game when technically it's Super Mario RPG, which came from the Super Nintendo. But the thing is,
Yeah.
but I don't like the looks of the remake. Nothing against it, but I like the fact
I
that
haven't looked at the new one.
I
I'm
like
looking right now.
I like the fact that the old one had more of a maybe not a stop motion claymation look to it, but it kind of looks something
Oh
similar
wait,
to that.
I see. Because I thought that was the old one, but now looking at it, it is the new one. That is weird.
I mean I don't see the point in remaking stuff. Because for me, I'll always prefer the originals over the
I
remakes,
think
video game wise.
I think the appeal of remaking stuff on the new consoles is one to fix some of the old bugs, possibly that might have been in the older games. Two, to put them on the current consoles, um, because let's face it, I mean, how many new, last 10 years or so, gamers have access to these systems, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, blah, 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 blah. Because if you try to go buy those systems now, either they're off the rocket, off the charts pricey, or they're like this weird. I don't know if you've seen them at all, but like there's these weird combination consoles where it's like 64, Sega, and PlayStation all in one, and they're trying to sell them all. You can play all three types of console games all in this one system, which I don't know how that works, but if it does, cool beans. But like you got those kind of situations, so not a lot of people will even have access to like a Super Nintendo. Like my mom still has a Super Nintendo and Nintendo, which I swear to God, I'm gonna probably reclaim those from her and clean them up and see if they still work, because fuck yeah, I would still play those.
There is a
But
partial cheat to that, though. The
what?
Switch. The Switch. You can
Well,
get
look,
the old game emulators on them.
yes, but that's only if the old games are on there. Not all of the old Nintendo games are on there.
True.
They release new ones every like month or so, but it's not always like it may not be the game that you're wanting. Like let's say for whatever reason, I haven't checked the emulators in a while now, but let's say Super Mario RPG is not in the old emulators, then you can't play it. You know what I mean? But it does give you the option if it's ever released. Like I know that right when Breath of the Wild came out or Tears of the Kingdom came out, one of the two, they were teasing Twilight Princess remake or Wind Waker. But because they couldn't give that, instead they gave like the emulation for Ocarina of Time for the 64 in the Switch. And I think that was their like pacifier for us because we kept demanding. And they're like, here, not only do you get Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom, but here, you get an emulator. There you go. Enjoy. Shut up for a second. Although I did hear, I don't know how likely it is, but just kind of an off subject, I did hear that they are in the works for a remake for Twilight Princess and Wind Waker. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's in the works. And I'm so fucking stoked. Regardless.
Now, well, I'm. I don't know. I think Twilight Princess is already a masterpiece, and as it is, I mean,
I agree, but I
it's.
still want to replay it without having to buy a flipping Wii.
But to me, the
I
Wii
don't.
versions of Zelda are the best ones because they're the ones where you actually have to swing your sword around and everything physically. It's like that. Actually, I got spoiled off of that. So when they came out
You
with
can still
consoles,
do that.
you mean
Kinda.
other than the Wii?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what the Switch Joy Cons are. You can, if you have the Switch docked and you have the Joy Cons, you do have the ability to use them as movable devices. They were supposed to replace the Wii Joy Cons. That's why they still have them. So either you can have them in a console formation, like a controller formation, where you can click them into a controller like apparatus, or you can twist them on their side and have them as a third type of controller, or you can use them, interchangeably in your hands and use them as controllers that way, like you would the Wii.
Okay,
They do have some games like that.
that
So I
works.
would believe if they do remake Twilight Princess, they would make that an option with the Joy Cons that the Switch already has. And I believe there's a Switch 2 coming out. I believe. I think they're talking about Switch. Hold on, confirm that Switch 2 release date. Yep. I don't know. I may not have. Is the Switch 2 coming out? Yes, the Switch 2 has been announced and is expected to launch sometime this year. So I guess there's a Nintendo Direct presentation scheduled for April 2nd to focus on the console. So yeah, there you go. So they probably will have features for that, which sucks because I just got my Switch OLED, Twilight Princess, not Twilight Princess, Tears of the Kingdom edition, and now they're gonna come out with a Switch 2. Of course they are, fucking jerks. Let's see. You want to continue talking about the GameCube or PlayStation, or is there any games on the PlayStation that you played?
No, actually, I'll just. This will cause me to temporarily skip ahead, but then I'll retract. But up until I met Alderon, I was strictly a Nintendo person, and he was the one that.
Really?
Yeah, he was the one that talked me into the PS4. So, and
Oh wow.
I learned right then and there you could actually record stuff using the which is new to me. I mean, probably common knowledge to everybody else, but I'm behind times all the time, and
Meh.
I by this time I had already had my Elder Smith channel for about a year or two, and he said, "You know what? I have a gaming channel. Maybe you ought to start one." And I'm like, "Me? I don't know. What would people think?" And and well, I decided after mulling it over, I would hide my true identity temporarily for quite a while. Have people get to know me as a person, as a gamer. So that's when I created Statton on Neverwinter. When I found out you could actually make the armor and stuff invisible, and thereby Statton was born.
I was gonna say Statton was birthed in the bowels and recesses of Neverwinter.
And his glorious abs.
Oh Jesus! So I'll go over a couple of PlayStation like games for those who started off on PlayStation. Because, like I said, that was like I think my first legit console other than Nintendo. I mean, everyone I feel like started off on Nintendo, at least of our age group. But my when I got serious with it, that was probably PlayStation. So like the games I played a lot were Crash in its series, like Crash Bandicoot and all that, which they've re-released those games like a time or dozen. Then there's Spyro. Like I said earlier, there's Tomb Raider. Um, Grand Theft Auto. I was banned from playing because apparently because like in that game, I didn't actually play the storyline. If there was one, I'm sorry, I didn't play for the storyline. I just ran over people and robbed cars. It was great.
Wait,
But I was
it's
banned
an
from.
online game? I didn't know that.
No, Grand Theft Auto was a PlayStation game.
No, I thought. Oh, I thought you said Crash Bandicoot. Never mind. I got lost.
Crash Bandicoot was one of the games I played, but I was banned from playing Grand Theft Auto because so in that game I would rob cars, run over people. I would get these. I think they were prisoners would follow you, and if you run over the train tracks, they all get electrocuted. I vaguely remember doing that. I just remember my dad was taking me to the dump one day, and as we were coming back home from getting rid of our trash and stuff, we had to stop at an intersection, and this old lady was crossing the street. I'm like, run her over! And he's like, that's it, no more Grand Theft Auto. So I was banned from playing it because I said to run over an old lady. I wonder if that's a thing with me. I always hated old ladies. I don't know. Tarzan was another game I played. And then, of course, my obsession series, Final Fantasy VII, came from PlayStation 1. Um, and that just, I don't know. I think Final Fantasy VII was like the pinnacle of like, I'm becoming a gamer because of this game. So I think if there's a game out there that made me a gamer, it was probably Final Fantasy VII. There's a bunch of other ones called Suikoden, and then there's Wild Arms. Oh god, there's so many. There's the what is this one? Hold on. Go away. No, I didn't want to do that. There's Tekken. Yeah, the Tekken series. Um, there's a Harry Potter series there for a while. There's Spider-Man. There's so many. PlayStation came out with like a crap ton of games for like their first console.
Now,
Then
there what? Yeah, I think you're talking about the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, where one of the parts where you had to collect the cards and the birdie bot beans. Is that the one you're talking about?
no, on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I thought that was it. I know
I
they had a
don't
PC
know.
version.
I don't think I ever played. I didn't play Harry Potter. I didn't play platformers back then, other than maybe there was a Sega game I played that was Lion King. What I played that was like the only platformer game I played for a while. Um, but I don't remember playing any of the other ones. I don't know if that's the one. If somebody does know the Harry Potter game and what he's talking about, then yeah, by all means pipe up. But yeah, it was the Sorcerer's Stone one. So maybe he's right. I have no idea. It's possible that they had it on PC too, because around this time PC gaming was also pretty big. With like the discs and shit.
You mean consoles?
Yeah, whatever.
Disc and consoles.
Hold on, I'm being attacked. Hi.
Give me a freaking hug.
Hey, I'm on a video right now. Quit it. I'm being attacked. Anyway,
That
so
now that was like the most family friendly aggressive thing I've heard. Give me a freaking hug.
she's always like that. Have a nice hug, not a freaking hug, please. Ah, can you not bulldoze me? That's great. Thank you. I love you. All right, get off me. Ugh. I'm okay. Let's see. After place, let's see. What would it come after? I guess we can get into GameCube games at that point. So, which we kind of touched on already. So the GameCube games I played were Wind Waker. Um,
Mine was
And
Wind
then, what
Waker
else did I play?
and Luigi's Mansion.
I never played the Luigi's Mansion ones. I know Ocarina of Time also came on GameCube, and I think that's when I played it. I didn't play it on 64. I played it on the GameCube.
I believe that was the Master Quest version, which was an even harder version of Ocarina of Time.
Well, yeah. So the they had Ocarina of Time, the original, and then they had with the same disc case. They also had Master Quest, so they had two discs in it. Then they also came out with a second Smash Brothers game on the GameCube, which that was also the one I remember playing the most too.
Super Smash Brothers Melee.
Yeah, dude, I played the shit out of that game. Brother, do they have? Hold on, did they have Turok on console on GameCube? They did. Did you ever play Turok? It was a dinosaur game.
No, I haven't. Never even heard of it.
Turok was it was called Turok Evolution. You basically hunted dinosaurs, but you could. There was also a feature in the game that was similar to Halo, where you could like fight against other players. And I used to piss off my brother and sister because I would always find the rocket launcher, and I would like find them, and I would like shoot them from a hiding spot that I would tactical hiding, by the way. Camping as I call it, but I would hide in a certain spot and I would always shoot them from the same spot. I'm like, you're cheating is what they would yell at me, but whatever. Learn the game or lose.
Now,
It was a good game. I love Rock.
while we're on the GameCube, I would like to thank someone again from my Discord server, Siri Entity, for what they did was they sent me a box of games that I've never played nor owned before, and one of them is one I'm playing now, Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem, which is in fact a GameCube game, and it's a horror-based one. And yes, it does have quite a few jump scares, especially if your character's sanity drops too low.
Oh, sounds like Phasmophobia.
Well, kind of. Only imagine this: things remain normal, but as your sanity drops too low, you start to hallucinate. Like you hear people and the mixed in the background music with that are screams of torture, and every now and then the walls will start to bleed, or statues' heads will turn and follow you as you walk past them. They'll even incorporate it into your
Eternal Darkness looks like Resident Evil almost.
it kind of does give off that vibe, but it'll also mess with you system wise. Like if you're playing the game and your sanity is too low, suddenly you'll see your volume button on your TV appear, the volume meter, and it'll either drop or go up higher, and you think someone's messing with you, but then suddenly. Or it'll even look like you just blue screen, like your game just crashed. But it's the game messing with you as a result of your sanity getting too low.
Jesus. It's horrible.
It's like there was a time it's like, oh, I thought I broke the game. I literally did. It's like, do I turn the game off? And just when I was about to switch it off, suddenly everything flashed and everything went back to normal, and the character's like, this can't be happening.
You know what I have to say I love about Nintendo? It started off with the 64, but the multicolor consoles and controllers that would come out for not only the 64 but the GameCube as well,
Yeah.
like the special edition colors and stuff. That's what I really liked Nintendo, because freaking you didn't get that with PlayStation or anything like that. You just got stuck with the console that they gave you, and that was it. We didn't get to customize with colors and shit. Like that wasn't a thing. The controllers you could, but not the consoles themselves.
And while we're at it, I would also like to point out to all the viewers that watch this, I'd like to know what your opinions are in the comment below. Um, I'm considering making a playlist where I play literally the crappiest video games made for GameCube and the N64. Like I found out that there's this one horrible Superman game that just sucks to no end, and it's supposed to be really buggy and everything. Well, my nieces and nephews let me borrow it, so I'm gonna give it a shot, see if I'll record it just to see what it's like. Would all of you be interested if I made a series where I dedicated one day to playing the crappiest games imaginable?
Yes,
Let me know
play
below.
Gex.
What?
Gex.
What's Gex?
Play Gex the Gecko. It was on PlayStation, I believe, but it's dynamics of the. It's a good game. You play as like this gecko lizard guy, but you go through like these movies. They're spoofs on like what actually happened in real movies or whatever. But the controls on this game is ridiculous. It would piss like because the camera angles were on and the controls were a bit weird. How this game ever gained popularity is just beyond me, but for whatever reason, I love the crap out of it. So yeah, Gex is on my list for you.
Very well.
It's very slapsticky and crude, kind of, but not like super crude, like where it's offensive. But it was close, very close.
Lil is my go-to person for video games, though there are other people that make suggestions. In fact, all of you can make suggestions. Like I remember when she brought up Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. And
Because it scared the shit out of me.
And I remember she said that it scared her so bad she uninstalled it. So I just typed in response on Discord, one moment, and she's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm gonna check this game out."
Which caused a lot of his gifts that he has in Discord now.
Whoa!
Oh my god. Your voices for all of them is amazing. I feel like one of these days though, I should like go over your voices and I'll like feed in some voices for you. Just to make it that much better for you. I don't know how that would work, but that'd be funny.
Fine, but what's her name? The pink-haired girl. It's been way too long.
Was that Sakura or something like that?
Or
Sayuri?
Not.
Or something?
I think it started with an N. Not.
I don't fucking remember. I don't want to try to remember because I feel like Monica's gonna come eat me.
But it's like I want her to keep having this voice. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. So moving on, so we're not wasting too much time. There's the PlayStation 2, which I feel like is the start of. I think it's the start of the console wars is the PlayStation 2 because around the same time that PlayStation 2 came out, I believe Xbox was not far behind. So release date for PlayStation 2 was 2000. So GameCube was its flagship at the time that this came out also. So that was its game. And then, let's see, Xbox came out when? Xbox release date? 2001. Yeah, so PlayStation came out first. PlayStation 2 came out first. And then it was GameCube. And then it was also Xbox. So you got the three trifecta. You know, you got Nintendo, Xbox, Microsoft, and then PlayStation. And so that's when, like, the console wars started.
Isn't that 4? How can it be a trifecta?
GameCube, PlayStation, Xbox. Microsoft is also Xbox.
Yeah. Oh, Microsoft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then why'd you mention
That's
Microsoft? Just say Xbox.
Because people know it by Microsoft, but also by Xbox because it's like one and the same. They're like tangible.
I got two things I would like to touch on about this subject right here where we're at. One, wasn't PlayStation 2 the console that introduced Spyro and Kingdom Hearts?
No, PlayStation 1 introduced Spyro. They had Spyro 1 through 3.
Oh.
And then PlayStation 2 did have a Spyro game, but PlayStation 2 is the one that introduced Kingdom Hearts. So you were right onto that one. That was the game I played the most on, was Kingdom Hearts on PlayStation 2.
Now, that was pure torment for me. I was strictly a Nintendo guy most of my life, but I remember the days when those games were advertised on commercial, And being a Disney fan,
You know
I
what's funny about that?
what?
I used to have an old Game Informer back when I don't know if Game Informer is still a magazine thing that still happens, but we used to get subscriptions for Game Informer, and there was an article. It was very small, but it gave me the biggest hope. But I looking back now, I see why that wouldn't really work out because it just. I would think it's fun, but I see why the popularity didn't pan out too well. But they had teased a Kingdom Hearts Mushroom Kingdom game where they would mash together Kingdom Hearts and Nintendo games, um, like Mario and stuff like that, and they were going to mash them together similarly how they did Kingdom Hearts and Disney game and like Disney. They were going to do it with Nintendo, but it I don't think it got a lot of good reviews about the idea, so they never went through with it. But I remember reading that, and I'm thinking back now, like that's too bad for you if you got teased by the Kingdom Hearts and didn't have like a PlayStation. So like if you would have gotten that on the Nintendo, I'm sure you would have loved the crap out of it, and like you probably would have been one of the few. But it's sad that it never went out that way.
Well, that's the thing. A part of me will never grow up completely because as am playing Kingdom Hearts, I am literally getting excited every single time, and a very strong sense of nostalgia when I come across Disney characters that I've grown up with and
Oh, I
watched.
know. Which one are you on right now? Are you still playing one?
Well, yes, because something happened, and it kind of. I'm afraid it's going to hurt my views temporarily, but there's really nothing I can do about it. When I transitioned over from PS4 to PS5, I lost not all my save data on Kingdom Hearts, but some of it. Like I had finished the planet with Alice in Wonderland. I lost that, so I
Huh.
gotta start that part over.
So I would just what you could do is what I used to do when like there was like a disconnect between videos. You could put an explanation between videos, be like, "Hey, lost a lot of data here. Had to go back, starting from the closest point that I can remember." Like like a kind of a what do they call it? A disclaimer as to what happened, and then just continue forward from there.
Okay, yeah, that would work.
That way, you don't have to go backtracking or anything like that. You can just play up to that point. That like look at your last video with Kingdom Hearts, and then see where you left off, and try to get as close to that point as possible, and then make the disclaimer video, and then proceed with the content.
And before I actually start posting videos again, I also need to come up with another decision that's not easy for me to make because it's one of those give and take things. And it's gonna cause me to say some things that I know some people aren't gonna want to hear, but darn it if it isn't the truth.
Oh boy.
Honestly, I think TikTok has destroyed the world completely in terms of everyone's attention span. That's why they call it TikTok brain. And it's like people just don't want to sit down and watch long videos. And the weirdest part is some of the videos that are deemed long are not long at all. Uh, for so like back when I first started, in the when I did the first few Discord sim videos, which are no longer up on YouTube, they were an hour long, or at the very least 40 to 45 minutes. People were begging me not to have them that long. It's like, okay, I think Beauty Gamer's the only one that said that she wished I would keep them full length, but it's because of that I tried trimming them to 15 minutes or at the very least a half hour. But it seems like people think half hour videos are long now. But it's like with 15 minutes, that's not really a lot of time to get a lot of things done in a video game.
Just a real quick before we get too distracted, because this is how I did the Outlast videos. Is I recorded myself up for like an hour or 30 minutes or so, or no, about an hour, and then I made basically multiple videos from that hour session and just made them shorter. Is that how you're doing it? Or are you just going the time length that you want to have it at, and then just cutting it off there?
The second one.
So I would do the first one. That way you can control when it ends and when it goes. So like, let's say you wanted to play for like 2 hours or whatever. Play for the 2 hours. Yeah, and do your thing. And if you, so what I did with Outlast is that I played for the hour, and I basically set like a silent timer. Um, on my phone or whatever. And once I got to what I deemed as like 15-minute, like I think I would go for, because I wanted 15-minute videos, I think is what I wanted to publish. So I would go for 20 minutes to kind of give myself some grace for editing and things like that. And then I would basically pause the video or end it and then restart it within that same within that same segment to make a second video. And I would also make it go for 20 minutes. So when I was editing the video, if I need to cut off anything, like, if I said something or if I want to speed up time, whatever the case may be, I'd do that. And then it would equal out to be 15 minutes, and then I would do it for the second video. So then I had 2 videos that I could post. And I didn't have to post it right away. I could post one this week and one for next week, so it was already pre-prepared to post. Or you can even do that thing with YouTube where you can like schedule to post and have it set to schedule to post automatically.
And by the way, I'm going to bring up something. Since we're in the last 15 minutes, I'm going to do 2 things. Then we can hurry and try to wrap up the console thing. One, I'm going to bring up the advertisements. This is brought to you by Statton's Discord channel called Statton's Mansion. I leave a link to it in the description of all my videos, and I leave a link to my Venmo account for optional donations. Donations are not required, but they are appreciated, and they give us the freedom to speak the things that we want to speak, regardless of what the platforms want. Speaking of that leads me into part 2 of what I want to quickly talk about. I got flagged on TikTok over my latest video, which is my Problems with Beauty and the Beast video, because I violated TikTok's policy by bullying a fictional character that neither shows up on screen nor has any dialogue. I'm gonna make a video on TikTok apologizing, hoping that they can find it in their hearts to forgive my heinous words, and hopefully if this non-existent character sees the video where I bully her, that she doesn't do anything drastic like harm herself. I am so sorry for my satirical bullying. Shame on me. And with that said, I'm considering making an account for Rumble where I'll post my videos on there. And because I feel like I can speak my mind more freely, consequence-free there. Seems like YouTube and TikTok are starting to be run by a bunch of sissies. No offense. But yeah.
It proceeds to insult YouTube as he's playing on a YouTube live chat. Okay.
Yeah, what are you going to do about it, YouTube, huh? What are you gonna do? You gonna flag this video?
Okay,
what are you gonna flag this live stream?
Down.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Come on, YouTube! Wait. Come on! I'm waiting.
You done?
Yeah.
You done? Okay.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, so let's quickly, because I know we're running out of time, so let's quickly go through all the rest. We're not going to mention the games or anything, but just the rest of the games. So there's Xbox, which came up. Okay, I have to mention this before we get into an argument. Xbox is a good console system. The only thing he's mad about is the people.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it didn't.
The only thing he's mad about is the people who play it and made it worse for everybody else. But from Xbox came games like Assassin's Creed, Fable. There's this game called Prototype or something like that. Or
sounds familiar.
It was so cool. It was such a good game. It only came out with 2 of them. There's a bunch of other games that came on Xbox that I freaking love, and to this day will continue to play. Jade Empire, that one. Oh hell yeah. There's so many other games, but Xbox is a darn good system. I will own an Xbox today if I could. There's a game called Black that came out on Xbox is a darn good game. It's what got me into Halo. Freaking need I say more? Halo. So yeah. Um, then there's going into like games that there's Game Boy games. We're not really getting into that, but Game Boys are obviously OP. Then there's PlayStation, PSP, the handhelds, but we're not going to go into that too much. PlayStation 3 came out along with the 360. Those games, they held up pretty strong, I feel like, for the longest time. Then the Wii came out, then Xbox One, PlayStation 4, then PlayStation 5, and Switch, which honestly, in my home right now, I own a PlayStation 4, I own a Switch. I own multiple Switches. Um, I think I have a PlayStation 3 in there somewhere, maybe? Question mark? I don't know. And then mostly I'm a PC gamer, so there's that. What do you got in your house right now, Stat?
Okay, let's list them off.
Oh no.
I got the Nintendo, the Super Nintendo, the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, the Nintendo Switch, the PS4, the PS5, a laptop for
favorite, folks?
Steam. Huh?
I don't think he's got a favorite, folks.
Moving on. Anyways,
Anyway.
uh, but yeah, there's something we need to run by you people that are watching this right now. Here's the debate, the angry one and I have going on this. And that is the fact that what I mean by angry people tend to play Xbox is because I've seen YouTube videos of trolling video games, and it seems like the people that play PS games that are being trolled online tend to take it with a more humorous spirit, lightheartedly, in other words. But you troll people on Xbox, watch out. They are the angriest people
like
you'll ever come
you are
across.
watching the ones that are geared toward you, rather than watching the full scale of it. Because they have just as much...
excuse me. I'm talking to the viewers. Do you mind?
Oh my god! Oh my god!
So could you please put it in
Says the Nintendo gamer. Says the Nintendo gamer here, guys.
I'm not just a Nintendo gamer. I also play the PS games. Now I do, and I have Steam. I have Steam.
Yep.
Steam.
Not Steam.
Anyways,
Okay.
so viewers, tell me, do I have a point? Am I on to something? Or is the angry one I'm talking to right now correct and it's all in my head? Let me know.
How
and
am I the angry one?
You're the
How
angry
am I
one
the-
because you said you wanted
Not
an
in this
Xbox.
segment.
You're the angry one.
Oh Jesus! Says the angry one.
Touche.
Haha. And he wants me to be his DM, folks. Watch me freaking put his ass through a bunch of shit. Hell yeah. Joking. I'm not. I wouldn't do that.
Yes, you would,
right,
but
so
you
we
would do it in a fun way.
I would do it in a fun way. Let's go over for the last bit our favorite games. I think how we should do it is that we talk about what our first favorite game is. Like, I don't, go from 10 to number 1.
I'll
so,
let you go first. Ladies first. Angry
Okay, so my
ladies
10th
first.
Oh Jesus! My 10th game, and it's not even really a game; it's a game series. So the Elder Scrolls games. So basically, Morrowind, Oblivion, and oh my God, what was that other one?
I don't know. It's your list.
I know, but there was Oblivion, Morrowind came out first, then Oblivion, Skyrim. Fucking Christ! Oh my God. Yeah, and then there's Skyrim. So that would be my 10th game series that I always come back to.
Forgive her. She has Tourette's, people.
I do. What's yours?
What's mine?
Yeah,
Oh.
your 10th one.
Well,
Supposed to write a list there.
it's up here in my head.
Oh,
I'd have to.
yeah, okay.
I'd have to say my 10th.
Organization.
Or is it 10th from least to the top, being the one being greatest?
Yeah, it's so 10th is the least. Like number 1's gonna be your number 1 game that you will always, without a doubt, come back to. The 10th one is the if you didn't have the options of the other 9.
Fate.
8? Oh, that's a good one.
Yes, because I love the fact it's what I kind of wish they had kept this sort of thing in where most games, online MMOs, you have to actually pick a class ahead of time, and whatever class you pick will lock you out from certain items and weapons that you would normally use. When Fate, you can use any combination of armor and weapons. The sky's the limit. You don't pick a class and it doesn't limit you. You're
You're
able
gonna
to.
love Fable for that because they do that same thing.
Yeah, so that's number 10 for me.
8, by the way, they're coming out with a remastered version on Steam. I don't know if you knew about that or not.
Oh boy, another remaster.
Well, no, it's basically what did it? I'll have to show you the link on it later. But it's supposed to be like Fate, but like better. It's the
Are
same
all
graphics. and
remasters
everything.
supposed to be better?
You know what? Don't knock the remasters. You are so like hard on like the remastered versions of everything.
Excuse,
because
what'd
you're
you
so
just say?
hardcore- You are so hard on it. So hard on it. Like, I just want to play the originals. Go back to the old days. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, sir. But remasters have merit.
Respect your elders, please.
No. Elders respect the new generation. Anyway, moving on. Number 9 would be Fallout for me. Any of the Fallouts
Which-
for that matter.
But Fallout 1 and
Okay,
2 are
but
completely different from the other three. Or
I
other-
liked Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah,
but
I'm just
I
saying
guess
it's
if I had to
bird's eye
pick-
view.
If I had to pick, Fallout 4.
Okay.
Maybe 3. Fallout 4. What's your...
Let's see. Mine would have to be Link's Awakening.
Oh,
Really.
I can say that.
Because I think that I do it more for the storyline than I actually do the gameplay, because something romantic is happening between him and that girl, but it can never be because the girl's a dream. So when they wake up,
Just saying,
she
it's
fades
like
out
a
of
figment
existence.
imagination.
Yeah.
I like how the first thing he says to her when they wake up is like, Zelda? She's like, who the fuck is that bitch?
The one and only time Zelda is brought up and it's not actually in the game.
And never in the game after that. Peach is in the game, though, somewhere in a picture frame.
Yeah, I forget, but I think she goes under a different name in that game. I forget which one, though. What
Oh, I
name?
forgot, yeah.
But anyway, so what's number 8 for you? Number 8.
Number 8. Finish him. 8 would be Suikoden. Now, this is a PlayStation 1 game, but they just remastered it for Steam for 1 and 2, which they teased that for like 2 to 3 years before they finally gave it to me. Immediately bought that shit. But hold on a second. My bad. Technical difficulties. Anyway, Suikoden is a RPG kind of similar to Final Fantasy, like old school Final Fantasy. But the way they had it lay out was like, I don't know, it's not exactly the same, but it was just different enough that it has like really good music, really good storyline. The whole point of it was that you're supposed to like gather this army to fight against this evil kingdom. And like I remember the game teaching a lot about like loss and perseverance and like friendship and loyalty and stuff like that. I never got to finish the game because I got stuck on one particular part, some vampire castle, and I never finished it because I don't know. I think the game, either I lost interest at the time or I got frustrated, and then I lost the game or it got destroyed. But now finally I get to restart the game and actually beat it, so I'm really kind of stoked for that. But Witcher 8.
My 8 is a weird one because you would think it would be, at the very least, be the 10, but the reason I'm putting it in 8 is because it can be beaten within 15 to 20 minutes, and it's just a fun pastime game, and I'm still in the middle of completing its playthrough for YouTube, and it's called Shaq Fu.
What the fuck is that? I don't really think I've ever heard of that one.
Mortal Kombat, only with Shaq, the basketball player, as the main.
Are you freaking kidding me?
I'm not. You could look at. I have videos of it
Shaq
already
Fu.
on my channel. If you want to look it up,
will
just see.
Shaq Fu. Oh my god!
I told you.
That is amazing.
And it's not a great game, not popular at all, but man, if you just want something to laugh at or just not really give a crap about a great game, that's definitely one. I call that one number 8 because, like I said, it can be beaten in 20 minutes. The story mode can be.
Oh, I'll have to look and watch you play that on your video.
Go ahead. I already got the playlist. It's already there. I just got add a few more videos and it's done.
Okay, well, that's moving on to 7.
Number
Uh,
7.
Number 7. I feel like you need to do that from here on out. So
Okay.
number 7 would be Fable for me. Which I would think that would be higher up on the list, but there's so many other games that beat it. So, but it's coming to a close call. So Fable would be my number 7, and I will always replay that game. At some point, I will replay that game and record myself replaying that game, but it's gonna have to wait. What about you, sir?
Okay. Mine would have to be Knights of the Old Republic
Oh yeah, I heard that one was really popular for a while.
because it's open world and you can go light side or dark side.
I think I played that once. Yeah, I remember playing. The part I remember the most is those weird. What the hell? They have like discs on the end, and they're like a ship, and they fly forward. Like
Don't
don't know what
all
they call
ships
them.
fly forward?
I don't know. I'm trying to hold on. Right. There's a racing part of it.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about
Sword
now.
racing. Yeah, that
Yeah,
right there.
yeah,
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 I remember that part
yeah.
more than anything.
Definitely, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, number 6.
Number
Number
6.
There you go. Number 6 would be Mass Effect for me. Just Mass Effect in general.
Never heard of it. Oh wait, yeah, you told me about
Yes,
that.
you have.
Yes,
I've told you
to-
about them multiple times.
Yeah, you told me about that. I forgot.
I also told you to be careful when you play it. If you romance the characters, they do have sexy time. So just FYI.
I learned that lesson the hard way with Heavy Rain.
Yep. What's your 6?
Okay, so my 6 would have to actually be Heavy Rain because of all the alternate endings and the different things you can do on it. Not to mention, it has great content for me to to break off and actually use for comedic videos. Already did at least once or twice.
I don't think I ever played Heavy Rain.
It's good. You got to check it out.
What's it on?
PS, PlayStation.
PS3 it looks like. From what I can tell.
Actually,
But they have a PC version.
I got it on PS4 and PS5 now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
I'll have to look into it.
It's awesome.
Okay, I believe you. Okay, number 5.
That just had an ASMR effect on me. Number
God.
5.
Mine would be Assassin's Creed. And I will say just the first one, which started the whole slew of the other ones. I will always replay the first one.
No
about you,
spoilers on
sir?
that one.
I won't spoil it.
No
Like I
spoilers.
said, I gave
No
you,
spoilers.
I
No spoilers. Oh,
sir, I gave you a brief idea of what it's about because you didn't know what it's about, but I haven't spoiled anything massive yet.
Okay, so we're on number 5 now.
Yes.
Super Mario RPG, because that's technically the very first RPG game I've ever played. And that has really set the stage for me. I learned how to level up characters through that. But man,
Yeah.
what did it
Wait
take?
till he talks about Final Fantasy VII. Freaking doesn't leave Midgar for fucking months, and now is like level 99. So he's just gonna an OP everything that comes after.
I'm not 99, I'm level 70, thank you.
Close a fucking enough.
Okay, so now, number 4, ASMR.
Oh Jesus. Number 4 for me is Dragon Age. I have a lot of BioWare commonalities here. Dragon Age is a good game though. I feel like you should play Dragon Age. I feel like you would like it.
I think I'll give
At
it a
least the
shot.
first one. I feel like the first one. You don't have to play the other ones. I mean, because the cool thing about Dragon Age is you can play them. Unlike Mass Effect, you can play them separately without having to play the older ones. Although it can help for like backstory wise, but it's not necessary. You don't have to play the other games. So I feel like if you were to ever play it, play Dragon Age Origins. It's Age and Origins because Origins is like a separate like game on top of it, like DLC kind of. But you would like it because it just has enough of that old feel to it, like that older game feel to it, and it has it has that multiple decisions that come with different endings. I mean, the endings all end up to be about the same, but like what happens to your character afterwards is all a result of your choices in the game.
That works. Okay,
You're,
so
you're number 4, yeah? We're at 4?
yeah, I think we're at 4.
At
Number
4.
f- Now for me, number 4 would have to be Kirby Superstar. No matter how old I get, that's a game that never gets
I can
old.
never get into the Kirby games.
Oh, you said. Oh, well, what do you know? You like Xbox.
Shut up. I want to play Fable, but Fable was Xbox flagship. Blah, 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 blah.
It doesn't matter because I'm gonna get it for Steam. Yeah, gonna get it
Well,
for
moving on.
Steam.
Number
Steam,
3.
Steam. Number 3,
Three.
Steam.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize I did this. Number 3, my number 3 game is Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is forever the best game ever. That is okay. It hasn't taken my 2 or 1 spot, but it's still one of the best games ever that I will continue replaying over and over again, fleshing it because like the amount of fleshing out you can do in that game. Honestly, if you want to know what D&D is about, play Baldur's Gate 3. It'll teach you everything about D&D. Being D&D, great.
Okay. Well, for me, it would have. Now it's my turn to mention Fallout New Vegas because not only is it.
I didn't mention Fallout New Vegas. I mentioned Fallout 3 or Fallout 4.
You said
New
all of
Vegas.
them. I thought.
I did. I did. Yeah, but I didn't mention that one. So specifically, but go ahead.
But anyways, because not only is it may not count. I count it as an RPG game because it's a whole level up, getting your stats up, and chatting with other people.
All of the Fallout games are RPG,
And
including
but I
the
like,
Elder Scroll ones.
but I love the fact that to me, Fallout New Vegas is the game that makes you think the hardest because it seems like no matter what faction you join, it does affect the ending, but there's good sides, but there's each one has its own drawbacks, no matter who they are, including the NCR. So it always
You know what's fucked
leaves.
up about that game with me? I accidentally killed a character that apparently I needed to talk to and kill anyway. But because I did it preemptively, it like glitched the game. So the house guy or whatever was like, "You need to kill this character." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Goes to kill character. This character's already dead. And it would never let me move forward from that, so I was never able to finish the game because of that. Like I ruined it. Like I glitched it out. I was so mad.
Anyway, but it does leave you wondering every time you beat the game if you did the right thing morally speaking.
Oh yeah.
There's no
All of
perfect
the
ending
Fallout
to
games
it.
did that. I feel like.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like especially Fallout 4. Like I will just go into it a little bit. Fallout 4, there's like 4 or 5 factions that you can join, but all of them, like you said, have their own merit and consequences, and you can't just like, unlike Elder Scrolls where you can literally do all the factions and be the big kahuna. In Fallout, you can't just end up with one faction. You have to eventually betray the other factions to stick with one of them. And it just sucks. Because you're like, morally, I like this one, but idealistically, I like this one. And honestly, this one's more fun, but you can't be all of them. Nope, you have to betray one of the two, or 2 of the 3, or whatever the case may be.
Number 2.
Number 2 for me would be, out of all of the Zelda games, like any of the Zelda games are mine, but like if I had to pick, number 2 would be Twilight Princess for me.
That's interesting.
Shows. And like, why?
Oh no, it's just interesting because that's actually while he is a technically a chosen hero, he's also a descendant that was born outside of Hyrule, so he was kind of thrust into everything
Mhm.
through the town being invaded and everything.
And reading the comic books, like the manga books, that's tied with it, talks more about that, and just the lore behind it is just it's chef's kiss. It's so great. I like it because it is darker. I mean, Ocarina of Time was considered dark, right? I think, or was it
Majora's
Majora's Mask?
Mask.
Yeah, so it's got that dark feel to it, but it's so good. And don't get me wrong, I'm forever a Zelda and Link shipper, but like I can hold that down for a minute to be in Midna and Link shipper for sure, even though they never end up together.
I'm
Sorry for spoilers, but whatever.
I'm okay with the romance being between them and Skyward Sword. It's just that I think them not having a romance in most of the games is actually a plot twist in and of itself because you always expect the hero to end up with the princess.
Right, I get that. I like how they did it in Breath of the Wild though, because she hated him at first because he was a threat to um, her whole person because she was raised to be like this priestess or whatever, and she couldn't access her powers. But yet here comes along her bodyguard, fucking just wanting his shit like it was so easy, and she's sitting there struggling about it. And so when they go on their journey or whatever, she's just like fuck you, blah blah blah, and he's just like this stoic freaking guy, just like okay, whatever. Like I'm just gonna continue to protect you. And then eventually she softened up, and she's like, oh my god, he's like super cool. And then he fucking dies, and she's like, ah. And then Tears of the Kingdom came together, and they literally proved that they lived together in the same house that Link bought in the first game.
And my nephews always make fun of the fact that she is English dubbed by a British lady. It's like, what? Why is that such a big deal? It's like, well, there. It's like it's supposed to be a Japanese game. British people don't exist in Hyrule. It's like, well,
Oh my god.
technically Japanese people don't exist in Hyrule either. But that's a story for another time.
I was gonna say, yeah, like that's the whole thing.
But
All right, what's
like,
your number two?
okay, my number two would happen to be Oh crap! I'm blanking out on it now.
See, you should have wrote down a list. Should have wrote down a list.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Miss Xbox?
I didn't say that angrily, Mr. Nintendo.
Skyward Sword. That
You
is.
see that?
I just rem. I guess I was thrown off because I brought that up preemptively,
Probably.
and because
Okay.
because I think while it's a close tie between that Link, Wind Waker Link, and Ocarina of Time Link, I'm partial to the moving controllers and having to get up and swing and everything. So, yeah, I love
He likes his
Skyward Sword.
devices. He likes his devices. Sorry.
Sinner.
Not even a gameplay. It's just a device.
I-
My cat just scared the
num-
fuck out of me.
Number one.
Okay.
Number
I mentioned it already.
one.
Number
Number
one.
one.
Are you done?
Yes.
Final Fantasy
Number one. Final Fantasy VII.
VII. Yep, always will be my number one. It's what I started with, and go figure, that's the number one game I'll always come back to. And I'm not even kidding. I replay that game, the original and now the remakes, at least once or twice a year. It's
Now-
that often.
Now, what I would like to do, just just as a quick Final Fantasy VII reference, I would like to take. I got them Super Smash Brothers Ultimate for the Switch. I think that's what it's called, and they do actually have Cloud on it. So what I would
Yeah, I
like,
know.
what I'd like to do is set both characters to computers, set their levels up as high as I can go, and pit Cloud against Link.
Ooh.
See who would win that, and also set it to where
They
there's
actually,
no
no,
items.
they have somewhere, hold on. Zelda Link versus Cloud. Yes, they have a death battle on YouTube. They did a Link versus Cloud. I forgot who the winner is.
Is
Hold on,
it
let me
a
go back
Smash
and look.
Brothers game?
No, they're talking about just character, just in general. Like, it was a Link versus Cloud death battle, just the characters. Who did it say they won? Don't. No, hold on. Link versus Cloud, 2012. Second death battle, Link from the. I will have to get back to you on it.
All
I'm gonna
right.
look it up. Go ahead and say what your first one is.
My first one should actually be obvious. It's Elder Scrolls Online. For multiple reasons. One,
Oh.
I'm partial to MMOs ever since .hack sign was a thing. I just thought that was the most amazing concept of being able to game with others online. And I have memories that I'll forever treasure, like when I was playing Elder Scrolls one day and I had the proximity chat turned on. I passed by these two on a bridge and I hear one of them in a little kid's voice go, "Who's that naked man, Daddy?" And I just hear this deep voice start laughing. And plus, I've met some of my best friends on an MMO.
Aw. Okay, so I do have an answer for you. Um, so I think there might be a debunk that might have happened. So I'm gonna have to research that. But as of right now, that I can see, they say what might be the closest duel in death in battle history. Link's combination of arsenal and strategy were just enough to defeat Cloud's brute force. Not to mention his items helped match Cloud's superhuman abilities. So just because of all that shit that he carries around with him is what beat him. But if he didn't have all that shit, Cloud would have busted his ass in 2.2 seconds.
I don't think so. I think the Triforce of Courage would have alone could have single-handedly.
I don't know. Cloud has some abilities up his sleeve. The Omni Slash alone, I feel like would be like really close into kicking Link's ass. But like I said, with all of Link's shit, that's probably what helped him.
One is a hero time, the other is an emo hero.
No, Jesus. He's not emo. He's severely troubled, okay?
Are
Finish
all
the game,
emos
find out.
severely troubled?
Oh my god. All right, I think that's it. I gotta cook dinner and stuff.
All right. Well, with that said, we hope you all enjoyed listening to this. Lil, say goodbye to the viewers.
No.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
Say it.
Okay, goodbye.
Tell them you love them.
Nope.
She loves you guys. Anyways, hope you all enjoyed it. My name is Statton. Like, share, and subscribe. And y'all have yourselves a wonderful day.
Yay.